Welcome to Friday. It is Meet the Press Daily. I'm Chuck Todd. We are following a number of crises facing this presidency and now this democracy. And as this day unfolded, we're reminded that every one of those crises might be worse than we thought. 154,000 deaths into this pandemic, and public health officials today testified that there's no end in sight. They also made it clear that we still do not seem to have a national strategy to combat and contain this virus beyond hoping for a vaccine. As Dr. Fauci suggested in testimony today, we never really ever had one to begin with.
Would you agree with me that the critical difference is either the presence or the absence of social cohesion and political leadership to actually develop a plan, execute it, and stick to it?
I think there was such a diversity of response in this country from different states that we really did not have a unified bringing everything down.
At the same hearing, the nation's testing czar said that we still don't have the testing capacity we need due to testing delays.
Would it be possible for our nation to have results for all COVID tests completed and returned within 48 and 72 hours? Is that a possible benchmark that we can achieve?
It is not a possible benchmark we can achieve today, given the demand and the supply. It is absolutely a benchmark we can achieve moving forward.
Tens of millions are about to lose their unemployment benefits due to an impasse on Capitol Hill, and the president would not say what he wants in a deal when he spoke to reporters today.
Are you willing to spell out exactly what you want right now?
They know what I want. And what I want is I want our people to be able to live and live well, because it wasn't their fault that China brought in this pandemic, that China brought in this plague. It's China's fault. You want to know the truth? China should be paying for it. And maybe they will. Maybe they will. You'll watch. You'll watch.
And to cap it off, with just 95 days to go, the president right now seems to be fixated on attacking the legitimacy of this upcoming presidential election, as his campaign admits its current re-election strategy is not working. The president is warning that our election infrastructure will not be able to handle a surge in mail-in voting. But watch some of this exchange he had today with my colleague Peter Alexander, because the president seemed a lot less interested in addressing the issue and more interested in sowing doubts about a result that I guess he thinks is now a foregone conclusion.
Mr. President, if we can ask you specifically, we heard yesterday your frustrations about how long it'll take to count the ballots here. Then why aren't you spending more energy to get the resources and the funding for the states that they want to be able to secure this election for all Americans?
Peter, you know nothing about my energy. Okay.
What are you doing specifically?
You know nothing about what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Listen, you know nothing about what I do. Everyone knows mail-in ballots are a disaster. They think they're going to send hundreds of millions of ballots all over the United States and it's going to come out. You won't know the election result for weeks, months, maybe years after. Maybe you'll never know the election result, and that's what I'm concerned with. It'll be fixed. It'll be rigged. People ought to get smart. This is going to be the greatest election disaster in history. This will be catastrophic for our nation, and you'll see it. I'm always right about things like this. I guess I must be, but I wouldn't be sitting here.
What would he be saying if he were leading in the polls right now? Ask yourself that question. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.